I'm Jatin Chaudhary. I'm the co-founder of eChai Network. We host engaging startup networking meetups in 25 global cities in 15 countries. You can check out our website to discover benefits of being part of eChai Network. We run a lot of those interesting online shows. This one is Spouse Entrepreneurs. And today we have very special guests, Aditi and Mayank. They are very good friends. We started our Indore chapter with them, actually at their office only. And they've been a big support to the community since the beginning. Aditi and Mayank, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you,
Thank you
Nitin.
for having us.
Aditi and Mang, you have EngineerBabu is your main business, but you have a lot of interesting products within that also. So just to understand the business better, EngineerBabu and now with the Supersourcing as a product, it's a platform where a lot of clients can find good potential IT
IT.
agencies or partners.
Correct.
Yes, yes.
So what's your business model in that?
So right now, we are connecting customers with the agencies, and the agencies are getting business in one domain. So somebody, let's say Sachin, we cannot give a Sachin को बिकट की वन काम नहीं देंगे ना. So similar happened with somebody who is good at e-commerce. They will work on e-commerce.
Yep.
So which give a more trust. Yeah, people has done. They have worked for two people, then they can do it for you as well. So giving a similar business to agencies.
So we are actually giving repeat business in one domain to the IT agencies so they can deliver the faster projects faster and with a better quality and with utmost client satisfaction.
And you get payment through subscription model that you are talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what are your roles? Aditi, what is your role in EngineerBabu?
So if and we have been associated from last 6-7 years. So this is my role actually.
But for the benefit of our audience.
Yeah. So the branding majorly setting Engineer Babu in the minds of the people. You can say like how people perceive about Engineer Babu and how was the journey. Everyone knows the journey of Engineer Babu. How we started from two people to here. So all this branding, marketing, and managing the people and building a culture in the company was my thing actually. So
Awesome.
yeah, so we figured out like these are the things like people are the most important and key to growth of the company. So from there we have started. My vision was actually to create an organization with the best working culture, and eventually I found out I'm good at marketing.
Brilliant. Mike, what is your role?
So basically, I'm good at hiring. I can get a sense ki, okay, who is the right fit for my company. So rather than so first I try to do like this. I become a jack of all. So try to do my hand dirty and one thing, and then I look for who would be the best person who can take and who can do better than me. So let's say one day one sales girl called me and she said, "Ki Mayank, this is my product and this is all about." And I asked her, ki, she said, ki, "Okay, Mayank, would you be interested buying this?" And I told her, I don't the product you are selling, but I like the way you are selling. If you are interested, you can join.
And she joined.
So she's
Yes.
joined. So she's so those kind of people will keep picking. We were discussing with one founder, and we were like they were service partner, and we realized like they are doing really nice. Then we asked him, hey, why don't you join our company and we can I think we can work together in a bigger goal. So I think a lot of co-founders are working with us. Some people even like 2 years they work with us. Then they thought, okay, let's move in a bigger city, and I wanted to explore there. After working 2 years, they also joined back. Hey, now I wanted to come back. So I think those kind of culture we were able to create, and Aditi played a really important part on that.
Yeah. And 6-7 years back, I visited your office. It was a nice office, nice team. And today also you have a wonderful office. So what's what is the change in EngineerBabu in 2014, what it was, in 2020, what it is?
It seemed like you can see growing a baby from zero to now a 7-year-old established and you can say process driven organization. Earlier we were like, no, just going by the heart. But eventually we realized after some time like the things that work at the team of 10 is not could not work at the team of 50 and 60 and ahead. So we realized, yeah, definitely we need to be more process oriented, more professional, and more result driven. So this is the change, but the heart is same. The people is at the heart, and we build around all the processes and professionalism around it. Client should be the first priority for everyone, so is for us. So giving best services to the client, best workplace to the people, and work-life balance. The core
Brilliant.
thing is same. It's just more mature and more process driven now.
So
And
I
how
think
many people are part of the team now?
It's almost 100 plus.
so right now it's 143.
Because rest of the things you mentioned is very easy, but scaling up to 100 people is a big challenge. How did you
Uh,
get there?
Now we are also like keep hiring. Even in this COVID situation, we hired almost like 30 people. And earlier we were looking people around, basically in Indore, because that was a core. Okay, we have built a good, nice office, so let's hire the best people who can find in Indore, Bhopal, or let's say MP. And but when the COVID happened, now we thought, okay, nobody's coming to office. What is the use of this office? So we start exploring people, best people around, and we were like little scared hiring people remote. Also, we don't know how they will work, but we found like really really nice people, very amazing people, and they come up with a lot of ideas. We thought why we were not looking. It seems like 7 6 years 6 7 years we wasted just because
We were not hiring
those
remote.
remote.
Wow. And entrepreneurship is about making choices. So in your journey of 7 years, which are those key choices you made that put you in a very different trajectory?
So you can say like taking tough decisions at the right time.
For
And
example?
decision making is the most important thing. So if you remember, we have started Motor Babu,
Yep.
the first product that we started,
Yes.
and we started this in back in 2016, and we ran it for 6 months. But then we realized like the funding thing is not happening because of like, so many players in the same market, and we invested a lot in building and developing the applications of like user application, then the service center application, but nothing was happening. Orders were there, it was growing slowly, but it was also disturbing the core business, that is Engineer Babu. So that was the time I had to take a call like whether to go with Engineer Babu or to go with Motor Babu, because two are not happening at the same time. So that's when I decided, Mayank, I'm going back to focus on Engineer Babu. I don't know about you, I won't force you, but literally I cannot build one company on the grave of other. Right? This is the backbone. Decisions like this keep on coming in the way, and that was the right decision. Now we realize it was the right decision taken at the right time.
Yep.
So similarly, there are a couple of more decisions happened. It was really tough to decide like whether to go this way and that way. And eventually it proved right at the end. So we are here finally.
Awesome. Mayank, any one particular choice you made or a key milestone of the company?
Yeah, I think earlier I was a very workaholic. So maybe you can find me 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock is normal like working. But after some time, I realized sometime I got frustrated. Sometime I want a result really fast, and I got a sense. We realized it's not a one day journey. You're gonna spend a lot long term. So then slowly we start making some different choices. One is doing yoga daily. And first we started ourselves like Aditi was already doing, then she inspired me, and then I started doing. Then I realized, yeah, you can generate the same result at the end of the month, even though if you are like completing your work at 7 o'clock. So we and the same thing we applied with our leaders as well. Okay, no Saturday Sunday boss, and I think 7 hours are more than sufficient to be a productive and to be energetic, and at least 1 hour like for especially for your health is important, and it's not about the physical health, it also keep you mentally fresh, energetic. So I think those are all things we have done, and it goes really well.
And very premise of this conversation is understanding perspectives from spouses business, building business together. So just to get the timeline right, of course I know the story, but for the benefit of our viewers or people who are reading this conversation, when did you meet? You started a business after you became spouses, or you what is that story?
So you can say we started because we wanted to be with each other.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's Mayank was always keen about having a startup, and I was still in the mindset in 2014, like let me figure out what is my career to be. But then he asked me, like, you have so much of empty time and free time, why don't you join me? And once you get the job of your choice, you can leave. So then that's when we started working together, and then we realized this is a synergy. Like we two are a good combination if we are going towards in this direction. We have complementary skill sets, and I started enjoying all the challenges, daily challenges, problems, and finding solutions. So that's when we decided, okay, this is the thing that we're gonna do. And I know there would be a lot of hurdles in between, but I won't back up. This is for sure. So that's when and actually because of the journey and the success story of Engineer Babu, we are together today.
Awesome. And Mayank, what are the advantages, disadvantages of building a business together with a spouse?
I think, see, like there are a lot of advantages. First, for me, basically, I understood how the tech work and all. But for when it comes to the culture, and you have somebody advised Mike, if you wanted to make a big company, you need to have a vision, mission, and these all things seems, oh my God, what is vision? I need to figure out vision for my company. I still don't know, okay, what vision. So those all things, I think then I asked Aditi, hey, you have to help me with vision building. Okay, and then how the culture need to form. So when you don't know, okay, this is something you cannot do. Let's say I still don't love numbers. So when it comes to the like how the company is growing in terms of numbers, and so those all things you have to look for a complementary. And if you can find something within the partner, I think nothing is better than this.
Aditi, Mayank covered the advantages. Generally, male partners that I interview, they talk about advantages. What are the advantages or things to take care?
Disadvantages, earlier it was a mix of work life. Usually work gets to home and this disturbs the entire quality time that you can spend together. At times during the morning walks and evening walks, we keep on discussing the office and office matters. And even when we are having dinner, so this was sometimes, at times it's okay, but at times it becomes frustrating. Like this makes our life monotonous at times. So sometimes you really want to spend some cozy time with each other and just saying nothing, just staring at the stars. So this is the thing that we miss most of the time.
We want to do a rapid fire, so you can give a quick answers to it.
Sure.
Aditi, what is that one skill Mayank has, and if you believe that if you had that skill, you would have done wonders?
Sales skill.
Okay. And Mayank, what is that skill that Aditi has and you really admire?
I think she is very good at convincing people.
Okay. And now this question is more of a reverse of that. Mayank, what is that one thing that Aditi strongly believes on? And not necessarily you believe that strongly about that thing. What is that one thing?
I think she believes we should have a lot of processes to scale a company. And for me, it's always, I believe like maybe if we put people rather than process can make it better.
Okay. And which is the other thing that Mayank strongly believes on and you not necessarily as strongly believe about that?
Sometimes he is driven by heart. And I believe sometimes we need to stay practical
Okay.
in the
And
best interest of business.
awesome. And now we get to the part where we have panelists ask questions to each other. So Mayank, what is that question you always wanted to ask Aditi?
So Aditi, before she was basically CEO of EngineerBabu, and then she said, then I asked you, Aditi, what you really wanted to do in basically we in new product, okay? And it's not about the title; it's more about the kind of work you wanted to do. So then I asked this question, and then so probably this time also I wanted to ask the same question.
Yes. And do you have a different answers this time?
So the thing is, when I become the CEO of EngineerBabu, I wasn't even knowing what a CEO does. Okay, so it's I become first, and then I realize later, oh, this is all I need to do. And then when I got the choice, like what is exactly interest you in, what is exactly you're passionate about. So I literally find myself passionate about building a brand.
Yep.
So this time I was having choice. So I chose CMO role in Supersourcing, and that time it was all you can say by God's choice. So it was CEO.
Yep. And what is your question to Mayank?
So Mayank, if I let you only to do sales and forget about rest of the thing, where you can see EngineerBabu in next 5 years.
I think I become one of the best closer
Okay. Awesome. But in terms of scale, what scale you feel that you could get?
You can see in next 5 years.
See, the goal was okay, at least people know we are one of the best company in town and best company in to work with at least.
But that Aditi will take care. But in terms of scale, where will you get?
Hey, you need to answer. I mean, I'm freeing you from all the worries. Close.
I think you name it which customer you want. I think I can get it done.
Okay, fantastic. And which is your favorite book or a podcast?
For me, it's hard thing about the hard things.
Yep.
And for me, it's a rework, and it's a very nice book. Jason Fried and like Basecamp founders, both of the founders written very nicely.
And sometimes it becomes very tricky to manage difficult conversations. So how do you manage difficult conversation between both of you?
It is always difficult, I guess. I mean,
But any go-to strategies that you apply? Okay, this is
so
how.
there
Both of
hasn't
us,
been a day we didn't fight about working. I mean, about something.
see, both of us has a very different choices. For me, okay, like today only we put one video in a YouTube, and I really okay, we should have a retro theme, something like this kind of background, and this video got a really nice views. And when I Aditi, so come on, how you can upload this kind of video in YouTube? Yeah, this is very it's not looking nice, Mayank. How you can think this is a very old fascinating? So I think those all discussion are always happening. Earlier, it was like we were little afraid. Okay, can we put my voice openly? But now we are kind of
Earlier, it
habitual.
was like we have to plan, create a scene properly, and then need to discuss. And
Correct.
if somebody got hurt, it takes 2 days almost to recover from it. Now it's just a 5 minute thing. We are so habitual of it. Okay, it happened. Now in next 15 minutes, we were talking about something else over call.
Awesome. And we talk a lot about learnings from failures. So are there any things where you feel that you could have done little differently in your journey of 7 years?
Yes, many times. I mean,
So both of you can mention any one thing if you can.
so there was time like when we hired one delivery manager back in 2017. He was quite senior from the industry, and we were expecting that he would streamline the delivery part of the projects. So that time we just hired him by seeing the CV and interviewing, and that was a big decision because we have given the entire development team to him and the entire project management team to him, but it was a disaster. He asked us for complete 3 months, just give me 3 months and I'll sort this out and you don't interfere. And we trusted him so blindly, like we did it. But in just after 1 or 2 months, I realized like this is not happening, this is not going in the right direction, and we are going to be in a difficult situation. But then mine was, let's give him 3 months at least. And this was the biggest bad decision we have taken. And from then we have learned whenever we are hiring someone at a senior position, we at least have 3 months trial period as a consultant or as an advisor to that particular department. And once we all are convinced, yeah, he is the right person, he understands us, he understands the culture, then we bring in that person on board. So it's a win-win for both the parties.
Awesome. And Mank?
So I think a lot of learnings are there. Like Aditi said, like hiring the right people was one of them, and we changed the way how we hire people. So first, we either the senior, he has to spend some time with us, at least 3 months, so that we can get to know each other. And this guy is also not risking his life working with us. So one was hiring the right people. Second one, if you hire best people, do not expect they will do a magic, because these guys will come with 100 ideas and they will say do this, do that, and then I need resources for this. So for us, giving them a right direction, ki, hey boss, that is the way we wanted to run, and don't jump into a lot of holes. Okay, I know my company has a lot of holes, but maybe let's fix one by one. So those all things we need to tell them. And second is planning a long-term vision. So at least everybody should have an idea of what their goal is and what is the KPI we are trying to achieve. So now we put in a very basic kind of framework in that everybody knows. It's open for all the company. Everybody knows like, okay, who is responsible for what kind of responsibility and how much marks they are going to give. So I think it should have a measurable result. So at the year end, people should not get surprised who will get how much appraisal, and there has to be a transparency in the company. So I think those all things has to be very clearly visible within the organization, and we are able to create that level of layer for now. And I think things are going as per plan.
And Mank, which particular activity you enjoy doing the most in your work life?
Whenever there is a problem, I am going deeper, understanding okay, what was the actual problem, because sometimes people are frustrated for no reason, and you get to know that is not the actual problem is something way. So I think going deeper and solving the root problem is what I enjoyed most. And whenever there is a difficult situation, I think I am able to get the right things done.
Aditi?
I enjoy the most about planning about how can I take EngineerBabu to next level, and then to execute that thing and to wait for the results. So this is a cycle like planning, then execution, and the results. So I literally enjoy a lot when I plan something and then it gets the expected results in time. So nothing like this.
Brilliant. And entrepreneurship is a very humbling experience. On one side, we get a lot of awards. On the other side, and sometimes we have to take favors from people. So, Mayank, which is the most recent favor you had to ask from someone?
So a lot of things are there. Even the same I told you, okay, life is very beautiful, but if you want to learn how to fuck yourself, become an entrepreneur.
Yes, but most recent favor you had to ask from someone. My recent favor was to ask both of you to join for this interview.
So I think anytime, let's say for the similar, whether we need a customer recommendation or something like approaching. So basically, when I'm taking the sales part, asking references for a bigger customer is what I usually do.
Okay.
And so first, I'm sharing my secret. Okay, so first, first I look for advice. Okay, so anybody I look, okay, can I have 10 minutes of your for advice? And when this guy is available, then I ask, okay, can you refer me some customers?
This is good one.
It always works.
Aditi?
So as my role is similar to yours now, the same thing, asking people to give their time and to record a video and to shoot an interview. So recently also, in the morning itself, I reached out to one of a mentor, Piyush Tiwari. He is a CTO in Townscript. So I just reached him out. So please, can you give us your 30 minutes time so that I can have it recorded?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you are at a very good growth stage. So individually, what are the things you've done to become a better leader so that you can manage this large enterprise which will become now?
We read a lot. Personally, even me and Mayank both are avid readers, especially of business genre leadership. So we realize like how important and how critical is the leadership when it comes to growing and scaling an organization. So you cannot be wrong at that point, even not in finding out the right leaders and training them and being a good leader in itself. So we read a lot of books. For me, it's ultimately the books.
Okay. And if everything happens the way you imagine it would be, in that case, what would EngineerBabu be? Mayank?
So I can see not from the EngineerBabu's
Or
perspective,
Supersourcing? Yeah.
but Supersourcing to be the best outsourcing platform globally.
Okay. So this covers, right, Mayank? Whatever limit you would want to go at, this covers. And
And
Mayank, yes, please.
this is what we wanted to build. Like I think this is the idea I got almost 8 years back, and this is we keep experimenting and doing. So it's not about okay in a coffee shop or in a beer bar. I got this idea and let's do it tomorrow kind of things. So we did it, we failed, we did it, we
Curated.
so a lot of times it's the learning, and now we know okay what sort of problem we are solving and what is needed to fix this.
This product is actually the outcome of the 8 years of hard work and experience in IT industries. We are expecting a lot, and touch wood, we are getting good responses from both the sites clients as well as the IT agencies. So hopefully we can definitely see it as one of the best platforms.
Awesome. And Mayank, if you were to describe your entrepreneurial journey of building a business with a spouse in one word, what would that word be?
I think it's a more of the trust, and having transparent communication makes a lot of difference.
Awesome. Aditi?
I can see is support.
Brilliant.
Best support.
Thank you so much, Aditi and Mayank, and we wish you all the best.